Hey there, hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Tanaj, and today we are reviewing episode 6 of Tyler Perry's Ruthless, which does streams on BET+. So getting right into it, I really do enjoy the speed of the last 2 episodes that has aired. You know, Tyler Perry has been gracious enough, merciful enough to give us a break from the whole shock value that the first 4 episodes has had. Okay, right now it seems as if he's really focusing on the story at hand. You know, he's allowing us to digest the episodes without the use of gimmicks. And not to say, you know, he was using gimmicks before, but you know, he was just doing a lot, and we deserve just to be able to watch the episodes without having our toes clenched every second of every moment. But moving on, so definitely get comfortable because it is a lot that we do need to discuss from that episode, because he did jam back a lot of events in this one episode. So getting right into it, because that's what we like to do. Okay, so this episode starts off with Sarah at the gate staring at Andrew. So while this is happening, there's a guy at the gate who's serving as a guard, and he's questioning Sarah, saying, "What's your name? Why are you here?" Sarah thinks quickly, gives him a fake name, and tells him, "Oh, I'm here. Like, I got lost." So he grabs her purse, dumps everything out, because, you know, at this place, they don't respect women. So everything's a go, right? So he does that, and then Andrew steps in, like, rescues the situation, and Andrew is thing, like, he's doing his best to stay calm, okay? He's keeping his emotions in check, and he's trying to tell Sarah, like, yo, he calls her, "Ma'am, you are not safe. You are in danger. Please leave." Sarah is so offended. "Ma'am? Say my name. Don't call me ma'am." So then he says, "Sarah, ma'am, like, you're in danger. I need you to leave. Please go." And she's a whole like, "Well, you know, when are you going to talk to me again? Like, you need to talk to me." And he's like, "Well, I don't know when." Like, "Okay, I'll try." And then it goes to the whole, "Well, I'm not leaving until you tell me that you love me." And Andrew's like, "Okay, fine, I love you, but you need to go. Like, ma'am, please leave. Like, you're in danger." And then that's even not good enough for Sarah. And what I will say in this moment is that if your husband, okay, the man who is supposed to make you feel safe, the dude who's supposed to, like, keep you away from danger, if he's telling you that you're not safe, then Molly, you're in danger. Like, I need you to leave. So this whole thing, like, I'm just on the edge, like, girl, just listen, right? So he tells her, "I love you. You need to go. Like, please leave. You're not safe." And that's still not enough. And she goes to the whole, "Well, what about the accounts? Like, did you clear it out? Because I don't have any money." And then in comes Daikon. And it's like, "Look what you did, Sarah. Thanks a lot." Now Daikon's here. So Daikon comes, and he's just so charming, you know, so polite again. And it's like, "Daikon, who are you?" But I like it, because y'all know that's my boo on the low. So he comes in, and, you know, he asks Sarah questions. Andrew is answering for Sarah. Andrew's also, like, kind of talking over Daikon. And then Daikon gives Sarah his phone number and tells her to reach out. So Sarah leaves, and Daikon, ever so quickly and smoothly, he puts Andrew in his place. Okay, he tells him, "Don't ever speak over me," and also, you know, never push a woman like that away, because she's the kind of woman that the highest likes, because of her donations is what keeps, you know, their business going. Which is, like, really confusing as well, because Daikon, you really feel like the way that you guys have been able to stay afloat is based off the donation from women? That makes me question, like, Daikon, what do you really know? Because I'm starting to believe it ain't as much as we think. So either way, so he closed it out, you know, telling Andrew, if she doesn't call, then you have to pay whatever it was that she was going to donate. So he leaves. So next we start off, we have Ruth, and she's sitting with Elsa Mama, you know, Marva, and, you know, they're arranging flowers, speaking about the visit from the sheriff. Which, side note, I'm really curious, like, how many elders is it, you know, in this place? Because I only see Ruth and Marva, and it, you know, that can't be it. Like, there's no way that could be all. So anyway, so Ruth shares with Marva that Tally has apologized, and Tally is ready to come back in the fold. And what is the first question that Marva asks? Has she been eating? Because Because Marva know what's up. Marva the one who be putting those little happy drugs in people's food. So she know what's good. And, you know, Ruth answers and she says she's eating every bit. So, you know, Marva is still like, you know, not really believing it. So she gives a warning in her true Marva fashion. You know, basically she tells of this woman who ran to the authorities and told the authorities like nothing but lies. And then, you know, the Rakuma dealt with her. You know, he sent the universe to deal with her. And how was that, you guys ask? Death. That's how, okay? Because old girl got hit by a train. Well, I'm sorry, she got ran over by a train. And getting ran over by a train isn't really that easy. So I believe she had help. But we just gonna move on. Yeah. So we move on to the person who I dislike to talk about the most. Our non-friend Lynn. So if you remember last episode, she was speaking to her cousin. So her cousin decided to, you know, pop up on Lynn at home because where else is Lynn going to be? And Lynn decides to confide in her cousin about this, you know, about her time on the cult. Now, what I will say about Lynn is that she really does not remember anything. Like in the beginning, I definitely thought that was an act that she was putting on, but it turns out she really don't remember much. So she tells her cousin, you know, like, oh, like it was so exciting, like I wish I had that excitement in my life all the time. You know, she speaks about how beautiful the highest was, and she says the doctor told her that she was given some type of drug cocktail and she thinks that the highest had sex with her. And the cousin, who was very logical, was like, cousin, I like you. So the cousin was like, well, Lynn, it sounds like you were raped and drugged. And Lynn's like, no, it wasn't like that. Like, no, it was beautiful. And I'm like, Lynn, that's exactly what it was like. You were drugged and raped. Well, in Lynn's defense, she right, okay? Because Lynn was drugged and she was gang raped, okay? Because according to the doctor, the amount of semen that was inside of her was way more than one man could ever produce. So yes, Lynn, you was drugged and you was raped multiple times by different men. But moving on. So, you know, she tells her cousin that, you know, she wished she could have this feeling all the time. And I'm like, Lynn, like the doctor told you what drugs were in your system. Like, if you really want this feeling all the time, like go ahead and go get you the drugs and mix them up. You know, you don't got to sacrifice your freedom for a feeling. You know, but the cousin says, you know, you need to get checked out because what if he had an STD? And Lynn says, no, he was so pure, he doesn't have an STD. And that leaves me wondering, like, Lynn, so where did you get your degree at? Because did you test him? Like, why are you being so foolish right now, Lynn? But to be honest with this whole conversation, Lynn is definitely going to go back, you know, to the Rakadushi clan because that's where she want to be. Is real clear. She's definitely leaving and she's definitely going back. We just don't know what day. So her cousin leaves and Lynn, being so obsessed, okay, she went and she calls back Daikon. And Daikon asks her, until you lick the paper, don't call me again. And then hangs up on her. And it's like, Daikon, you really a player though. I freaking love it. He's just so dang on smooth. So what does Lynn do? Lynn licks the paper. And let's be honest, are we really surprised? Because we all know she was going to lick it. We just ain't know when, but we knew it was going to happen. And how long did it take her? She licked it in the same day that she found it. So literally hours it took her. So she calls Daikon back and, you know, she's asking Daikon all of these questions. And Daikon is actually responding, which is so interesting because he's very closed off. But anyway, so in that conversation, you know, first Daikon tells her the highest has missed you. Yeah, right. And then, you know, we proceed to learn that Daikon is from Philadelphia. He's an ex-gangbanger, which also I ain't never heard an ex-gangbanger refer to themselves as a gangbanger. But moving on. And he says that he met the highest, you know, while they were both in jail, and the highest taught him about himself and his soul, and he enlightened Daikon the same way that the highest enlightened Lynn. So Lynn's like, well, the highest had sex with me. Did he have sex with you? And I'm like, whoa, this conversation is getting stormy. But also, too, it's like, is anyone going to tell Lynn that the highest did not have sex with her? He ain't having sex with no woman. Or is we just going to keep letting her think a lie? I guess. So, but Daikon responds and he says, you're not ready for the truth. And that's actually confusing because it's like, so Daikon, you do know that the highest had sex with you and he was having sex with other people. Because, you know, Tally did say that they do, you know, practice abomination when it comes to homosexuality. But, you know, they don't see what they do as homosexuality. But in that moment, it's like, oh, Daikon, so you are aware. The plot thickens. Right? So anyway, so the conversation continues. And Daikon asks her, because Daikon ain't got time for the games. He right straight down to the nitty gritty. He asks Lynn, are you ready to leave everything and, you know, join us? We can help you escape. Lynn hesitates and he says, your hesitation says no, right? And then, you know, he also tells her, like, you ask questions out of judgment and not out of curiosity. And with that is like, yo, Daikon, we knew you was a player, but you a poet too. Because that line was smooth, baby. I ain't even gonna lie. That line was smooth, right? So either way it goes, so he tells Lynn, like, yo, she can call him as much as she like, and he will answer as much as he likes. That's a smooth operator. Let's be clear. But we knew that. So next, we got a little outside action. Okay, because about 4 women, you know, they're all believers. You know, they went out to the town market. And of course, they couldn't go by themselves because women has to always be watched. Okay, so they had a man named Manny who served as the babysitter. So while in the market, Manny speaks to this guy who was working at the deli, and, you know, basically he invites him out, you know, to come to their camp and, like, view everything, you know, just to visit. And I'm like, so can anybody visit? And also, I thought they didn't really like white people, but okay, you know. So I will say though, like, the Manny guy, he was very charming, you know, and it's like the things he was saying about the Rakadushi clan, like, I was even intrigued, you know. I'm like, oh, you guys are loving people, you guys are non-judgmental. I'm like, is that what you do? Like, and I know the truth, but I'm thinking like, okay, that, you know, that sounds great. Should I pull up? Yeah, so anyway, so then, like, the deli guy, I guess just like trying to make conversation and kind of like trying to be funny, you know, he tells Manny like, oh, well, you better go get your girl because I seen her give her number to the deputy, because at the same time there was a deputy in the market, right? So then of course everything switches and Manny's like, oh, okay. So Manny goes over there and he approaches the girl and he's like, I know what you did. You must be punished and I have to tell on you. And this whole thing is like, yo, this show, no matter what angle we are at, everybody is snitching on everybody. Like the deli guy, who asked you for this information, okay? If you see some things happening, keep your mouth closed. Manny gonna snitch on the girl, okay? Ruth tried to snitch on Tally. You know, the dude at the gate is snitching on Andrew. Like, it's just, everybody is just snitching and I'm just tired. But moving on. Tally has been freed. Okay, can we give it up for Tally? Can we give it up for Tally real quick? Okay. Because, I mean, who would have known? Like, we knew it was going to happen one day, but we didn't know what day it was going to happen. So, kudos to Tally. It's only up from here. Okay? But what I will say, side note, is that when she was in her little isolation prison box, okay, it was very dark in there. You know, she didn't have any lights. And, you know, when Marva came to release her and when they walked out, Tally didn't even squint or, you know, like cover her eyes or flinch, you know, like once she got into the sunlight. And it's like, girl, if you ain't seen sunlight in a long time, like, I'm gonna need you to act and stay committed to your role. But I'm gonna digress. So Marva brings Tally to Ruth. Okay, and, you know, Ruth's job is to make Tally seem more presentable for the visit from the sheriff because, remember, she's still bruised up. Like, she needs some makeup, her hair a mess, like, she need a bath, like, she need everything. But before Marva did leave, she made sure to say it in her very true Marva fashion that Tally needs to be thankful that she's here. And, you know, Ruth and Tally is like, yes, we are so thankful. And Marva's like, no, you need to be thankful, period. AKA, chick, you need to be thankful to be alive, okay? Because you could have been dead. And, of course, Marva says this with a smile. Child Marva, I don't know why her favorite topic is death, but she loves to talk about it, okay? Somebody always dying in her mouth. So Marva leaves, and Ruth and Tally, you know, they just update each other on the plan. And Ruth shares with Tally that she's seen Andrew crying behind the trailers. And, you know, Tally's like, yo, we don't trust him. Like, get him out your mind. We passed that, right? And then Ruth, you know, convinces Tally to check in on him. So that's good. I like that. And then the story closes with the guy who was originally at the gate guarding it. You know, when Sarah came, the one who snatched her purse and threw her belongings everywhere, you know, the rude one. So he goes to Daikon and he gives Daikon the tracker that he found in Sarah's purse, which of course, if you remember, that's how she was able to locate Andrew because of the watch he had on. And then also he gives Daikon a family photo. And in the family photo, of course, it has Sarah, Andrew, and their son. And then Daikon closes the episode out by saying he will do what needs to be done. And I'm scared. I ain't gonna lie about that. Moving on to the characters and where they are at with this episode. First, we have Ruth, which, I mean, Ruth is just staying to the plan. You know, she got Tally out, so Ruth is doing good. And also what I will say about Ruth is that she is supposed to be the main character in this show. You know, the show is like based around her. But yet, she's not like the main focus. You know what I'm saying? It's like what I do commend Tyler for doing is that he's giving everyone their own shine. You get me? Like, everyone seems to like really be very prominent in this show, and that's great. Kudos to you, Tyler. But yes, no updates on Ruth. She doing what needs to be done. Amen. So Tally, welcome out. You're free. Okay. So that's great. You know, she get to see the sunlight. Hopefully she can still see her kid, you know, however often they're able to. What is good is that she is agreeing to go ahead and talk to Andrew, which actually does, you know, bring me some type of comfort because Andrew needs somebody, child. Okay, but what I will say about Tally is that, you know, you made it out, but please watch your back because as we know, people is watching you every step, and this Marva is really ready to kill you. Like, clearly, she is ready for you to die if you don't do right. So please keep it right, keep it tight. And also when you do go ahead and meet the highest when that time comes, you better put on your best acting face, okay? Because we don't want to see you back in that little isolation camp or dead. Amen. So next we have Andrew, and poor Andrew. Like, I know I said I didn't like Andrew, but I never wanted his life to be like this, okay? Andrew is going through a mother-loving lot. And honestly, I just want to take a moment of silence for all of my men who are suffering in silence. All right. So, you know, as we already know, like, Andrew already had to do the cleansing. You know, he already, like, had to deal with, like, the whole, like, oh, impregnated Ruth, you know. And he has a lot mentally to deal with, right? But now he done ran into his freaking wife. And his wife is like a slap of freaking reality of what his life is like outside. Because, you know, it's one thing, you know, like just to know people, like, you know, just to have them in memory, but not having any contact with them so you can still go on. Because clearly that's what the fudge Andrew was doing, aka Tally being pregnant by him and him being in love with her. Okay. But him seeing his wife and his wife talking to him like, oh, we don't got any money and your son. So now it's like, no, like, this is a real thing. Like, they're not a memory. Like, it's not part of my imagination. Like, they're real life. So homeboy is struggling, child. Yeah, honestly, they just need to come and save Andrew real quick. And now what he don't even know is that his life is in freaking jeopardy thanks to his wonderful wife, because Daikon has the family photo. So Andrew, what is you gonna do? But hopefully, you know, he can just like get out of it just saying, you know, that was my previous life. Like, I left them, I didn't give any explanation, and I was out. Hopefully he can say that and everything will be okay. Because everybody had a previous life, you know, before the cult. But because this is TV, we know it's never that easy, it's never that simple, and it probably will never be, unfortunately. So moving on to Lynn. I don't have anything to say about Lynn. I just want her to go. That's it. You know, I'm tired of her hanging on the fence. Just go ahead and be with your people because that's what you want. Please just free us because we ain't got the time. We ain't got the energy. But what I will say about Lynn, and this is just maybe a little suspicion and whatnot, you know, playing a little devil's advocate, that maybe Lynn is actually assisting us. You know, maybe she's showing us that she actually does have a brain, because when she was talking to Daikon, she was asking a lot of questions. And they wasn't normal questions, you know. I don't think so. You know, she was asking about Daikon and the highest relationship, like how did they meet, you know, about the drugs, you know, like where they come from and stuff. And then also she even like mentioned like them having a visit. And it's like, Lynn, either you got some loosey-goosey lips or you actually thinking out here and you really trying to get some information. And if that's what you're doing, okay, girl, I commend you. Still don't like you, but okay. So now we have Sarah, which, welcome Sarah. This is the first time she has made it into my review. But I didn't know that it would be a character that I could not like just as much as I did not like Lynn. But I think Sarah is really over here giving Lynn a run for her money. Because Sarah, like, I understand, okay, you have not seen your man in ages, okay? You haven't seen him, you haven't spoken to him, you thought he was dead. So, you know, his job wasn't telling you anything. So you was like, yo, I'm gonna take it in my own hands and I'm gonna find my man. And you did. Kudos to you. But what you didn't do was think about, well, what happens once I seen him? Okay? And clearly you didn't think like, well, if I do see him, like, am I gonna risk his safety? Because I know he's undercover. You know, I don't think she was thinking about that. And like, I'm really big because I'm a woman as well. Amen to us. Like, we will get stuff done. Okay, kudos to us. Like, we better than, you know, FBI, CCI, all of them. I mean, CSI, all of them, clearly. But sometimes we just don't think things through. And it's like, we think we have a plan, but yet when we get there, like, our emotions just overtake us and we're not able to think logically, as she did in that moment, you know. And I was like, girl, his life, your life too, like, everything is at risk right now, and I cannot stand you, Sarah, for making dumb freaking decisions. But moving on, another thing, a bonus thought is, one, I really hope that Sarah was not followed when she left, you know, because that would be crazy. But secondly, why did she call the Spanish detective guy, you know, to like share with him that she found Andrew? Like, what's up with your relationship that you feel comfortable enough to call him? And when I say that, I don't mean like, oh, you know, they're having an affair. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, what is the status of your relationship that you're like, I'm going to share this information with him? That's confusing to me. And let's keep it all the way real. I ain't never liked that dang on Spanish detective guy. Okay, since episode 1, he seems sneaky to me. And honestly, I feel like he is working with the freaking Rakadushi people. And if he's not working with them, then he plotting on somebody's downfall. Because he just don't seem like a good, you know, abiding citizen. So, my eyes is all up and on you, little Spanish detective guy. But moving on to my favoriteest person, Daikon. I don't want to brag, but I called it. You know, it's what I do. Look at him getting his own storyline and getting more lights. So what I will say is that, you know, they're really making him human, you know, letting us see, you know, his charming side, his flirtatious side, like his little, you know, just like his happier side instead of him just being dark all the time. So that's great. We learn more about him. You know, hey, he's from Philadelphia, which means he loves cheesesteaks. I know he misses those. Like, okay, shout out to y'all. Shout out to Philly, you know. But what I will say about him is that I am starting to get confused because I feel as if he's kind of left in the dark as everyone else is, you know, and maybe he's not, and maybe he's just like putting up a really good front. But when he was originally speaking to Lynn, right, and you know, when Lynn was like, oh, you guys drugged me, like, he was very offended. He was like, no, we would never do that. Like, that's not who we are, you know. And then also, you know, like when he told her like, oh, like what we gave you wasn't drugs, like it came from, you know, our rainforest, and a lot of things we use is like what humans throw away. And that's clearly not true, because chica, it was drugs you gave. Like, them drugs, they was cooked up in the kitchen, you know. They was cooked up like in a chemistry lab, you know. And then thirdly is that when he told Andrew that the way that they stay afloat and get money is through the donations by women, that's confusing to me as well. Because if you recall, Tally did tell Ruth that the way that they make their money is through, you know, child sex trafficking, you know. So I'm like, Daikon, what do you really know? Because now I'm starting to think you really not as close to the highest as you made us think, and you in the dark. And I'm guessing the only person who really know about what's going down is Marva, because that's what it sounds like. But most importantly, I am really scared because I definitely do believe that Daikon is going to show us why he is always dressed in all black. With this whole Andrew situation, I feel like Daikon about to show us how he really get down. Because if you peep, besides like the first like 10 minutes of the first episode, you know, when he punched Tally, he really hasn't, like he hasn't done anything of violence. You know, like he gives orders and like he just has like this dark cloud around him, but he hasn't done anything. And now that Andrew did this, I'm scared that he about to do some things, okay? And he really gonna show us how he became the highest right hand. Even though I don't even feel comfortable saying that because I think Marva is the highest right hand. But we shall see. But anywho, this episode has left me on the edge of my seat like any other time. I really do enjoy the writing. And I am anticipating episode 7 of next week. Okay, so I'm gonna watch that and then you guys come back to see my review. Y'all have a good one.